topography. I want to talk a little bit about this idea of redistributing space and how it affects the homes themselves. When you think about new urbanism and then you look at how efficient or inefficient the street is, these are streets with no frontage whatsoever, the yellow. It's 100% waste. So you're also building a street in the front of the homes that are pretty much 100% utilized, but then you also have to build an alley in the back. What you've got is a site you've consumed with right-of-way and pavement, leaving little space for the homes. So you have very little front yard, you have almost no rear yard space. When you take a look at the home itself, it's fairly attractive. It's a front porch living, rear garage. They are narrow and they are generally deep. There's a minuscule percentage of that perimeter of the home that actually is viewable. The side view is non-existent. It's only the front view. They parallel each other so that width is your presence. So you're looking onto parked cars in the front and onto parked cars in the rear. How do you create walkability? You have to build more street. But we're going to take a look at that home and we're going to rethink that home into what we call a bay home environment. And we can achieve more valuable, better livability, far more space, and better function with far less pavement. This is a bay home neighborhood that is in Rochester, Minnesota. You'll notice a few differences. There's not necessarily a street in the front. A larger percentage of the home has a quality panoramic view because we're staggering the homes. An increased facade exposure increases the curb appeal. The front view on some are parked cars if they do front to street, but not all of them front to street. That's a 2 or 3% of your entire day that you're in the back of the home, parking your car, going in and out of the development. We're more worried about that 97 to 98% of your day where you're actually living in the home on the opposite side of where the garage is. So we're redistributing the space to squeeze the space garage to garage and then increasing the space where you actually live. So for walkability, we build walks, not streets. With a zero lot line style, we have private space to put a patio along the side of the home that can be screened, but we're also using it to park along the side. We're not parking in back of the garage, we're parking along the side, and that way we could squeeze that distance garage to garage and open up the distance where people live and not where cars are parked. So this is a bay home in that same neighborhood. We're looking at a full front porch, at balconies. This one's a walkout, and in this case it overlooks the ponds and not parked cars along the street, not directly into another home directly across the street. The feeling of openness is incredible, and yet the densities that we can achieve are very surprising. This is another example of a bay home. This is Water Lily in Edinburgh, Texas, soon to be under construction. Tremendous amount of parking, convenient guest parking that leads to the front porches and waterways. Pretty much ditto everything I just showed you. And this is a rendering of how Water Lily will look when built. Again, we're redistributing space so we could reduce the space that we're dedicated to park our car and increase the space dedicated to park our people. And that allows us to have a tremendous amount of space, fairly large homes, and still achieve over 6 units per acre. This is a neighborhood we're proposing, again, in our development in Rochester. We have staggered the homes, but this is now lower income housing. These homes are anywhere from 1,000 to 1,200 square foot. They're an alternate to renting an apartment. And this is what it will look like when it's built. You're looking at almost 12 units per acre, single family detached. Again, panoramic views, full front porches, generous setbacks, generous open space. Every front porch is connected with a walk or a trail. Now, while the bay homes